Hello again and welcome back. My name is Vidas, and in this video we're going to be talking about cooking. We're going to talk about how to do it, why to do it, what you need to do it, as well as also the skills and everything involved with it. So first thing is, how do you cook? Well, cooking's really easy. You just need to grab yourself a cooking pot, throw that down, and then you plop 2 ingredients into it, wait about 9-10ish seconds, and then you will have yourself a very lovely meal. Now, why is cooking important in the game? Cooking is a very important thing to have in the game because, as you can see, you get wonderful benefits from the food that you make. So in this case, with this food, we put together the glow tulip as well as the bomb pepper, which gave us 15 food, 4 glow, and 21 movement speed. These are very important things that we need in order to advance in the game properly. Now, the main point of this video is, when do we get experience? To get experience from cooking, you need to you don't need to worry about anything like putting the food in, anything like that. Right there is how you get experience. It's when you grab your food, your cooked food out of the cooking pot, that's when you get experience. That's what levels you up. So it gets you there. So to optimize cooking, I went ahead and I made a thing to do some testing, and I found out that all food gives you the same experience, which was a big surprise to me because there are like 130 something types of food that you can make, or something crazy. I can't remember how much there is overall. It's ridiculous. There's a lot of different types of food that you can make, which I do plan on here probably sometime this next week coming out with a video talking about the best foods and all the food in the game, the best buffs, things like that. So make sure that you are subscribed and have the notification bell rung so you can see when that comes out. Anyway, so yeah, all food gives you the same XP. Big surprise to me. So given that, you need to go with the easiest to grab food, which the easiest to grab food is going to be things that you grow. So there are like 6 different crops or things like that you can grow. I think there's 7 that you can grow, which I think 5 of them is food. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. Anyway, so these are all the different cooking ingredients that you can get besides these. Get these out of here. So you have these kind of things, you have these kind of things, all kinds of stuff. There's a lot of crazy things. Anyway, we'll cover all that in the cooking in the food video. So the best way is just go with the cheap versions of food, the most like sustainable, grow the crops, get the rock carrots and the bomb peppers and the things like that. And then just make yourself a crap ton of these. I can tell you exactly how many you need. Well, not exactly. I can tell you close to how many that you're going to need. Assuming that you put full stacks in both of these and you get a full stack of food out, you will need about around 20 cooking pots to go from level 0 to max level. And if you want to know about how much food that is, it's about that much. That is about 22.5-ish stacks there. Not quite a half, but it's like 22,285 food is what it is. This is what you need. Now, the thing to note is that is not an exact measurement. And the reason why is because when you are cooking, as you progressively level cooking, you get an extra buff that is, at max level, it gives you plus 20% to get extra food from the food that you cooked. So, if I go harvest, then I have a 20% chance to get an additional food on top of what I had already made. So a lot of this is additional food added up in here. And so that is, about how much food that you're going to need. That's not exact. That's just a rough guesstimate around that number. 22,285 is about what you're going to need in order to get from 0 to max level. So it takes about 9-10 seconds, something like that, for food to cook. So if you set up about 20 of these, it will take you about 2 hours and like 40 minutes and 30 seconds or something like that. I can't remember the exact number. I'll put it up on the screen, the exact number of what it is. in order to cook all of that food, and then you'll be at max level. And so, yeah, it's great. Now, what is the benefit of being at max level? We're going to talk about skills. So skills are really fantastic. So the first skill, of course, that you always have to get, in this case, it is going to be utilizing every nutrient. This gives you from 5% to 25% extra food from cooked food. Now, real quick before we keep going on with this, I want to talk about food as a whole. So food is, obviously it's, food is food, but in this game, it's an actual, like, I guess, like, buff, if you want to call it that, is each type of cooked food, as well as also like raw ingredients, have a specific amount of food that they give you. You have by default, I don't think you can increase this, not that I can think of, but you have by default 100 food. So, like, this mushy golden steak, that sounds terrible, I'm going to be honest. Anyway, this thing gives me plus 31 food. So, if I ate this right now, I'm going to go up to max. Now, the big thing with this is you always want to be at max, because you get what is the well-fed buffs. There are 3 different buffs from well-fed that they give you 10% on increased damage, 10% increased max health, as well as 10% movement speed from being well fed. So it's really important to keep your hunger up. So having a skill like the very first one is obviously very important. And, of course, you have to max that out anyway, but I just kind of wanted to cover that for future explanation here soon. So the next one that we're going to go into is called Not So Picky. This one is the well-fed buff. Buffs are, they gain anywhere from 2% to 10% like lower food required. So you have to be, by default, you have to be at max food in order to gain the well-fed buffs. This will give you 10% less. So I think you'll get it at like 90 food is what it would be. And so that is another really important thing, because then that means you get to keep that even longer, which is really cool. Which also brings us right into the next one, which is the healthy diet. Healthy diet is the well-fed buffs are going to last longer. They start at 20%, and then they each go up by 20%. So 20, 40, 60, 80, and then 100% lasting longer. They're stronger. Okay, that's what it is. They're stronger. My mistake. I thought they lasted longer. That's my bad. So they're more powerful at that point. So, which is very cool. So then we're going to go into fast food. Fast food. Now, this one is, I have mixed feelings about it. Attack speed is really great. Okay, don't get me wrong. It is very important. But at max level, so first you get 1%, 2%, 3%, 4, and 5%. Now, this caps out at 5% additional melee attack. My issue with this is that you're leveling cooking. It's like, you get it later on in the cooking skill. You're already going to be well leveled up by the point that you get to this. You're doing cooking. You can make food that gives you melee attack as a percentage. So like these two, for example, give you plus 4%. Now that's 1% less than, this buff, but you can do that, as well as there's a tons of armor and weapons and accessories that can also increase your attack speed. So I don't recommend using it, but I get where that's important to use. So now we're going to go into long lasting. Long lasting is cooked food lasts longer. Like the buffs that you get from the cooked food lasts longer. It starts at 6% and ends at 30%, going up in 6% increments. So yeah, this one's great because if I, say if I eat this spicy tulip salad, then, my 21% movement speed is going to last 30% longer. Yes. So that's a great perk to use. Absolutely. Definitely go with that one. The smell of food, I think, is another really good one, but this is It works, I believe, as like a single player thing. You know, if you're playing solo, then, you know, I believe it still applies to you, but this is like a really big support one. So cooking is a big support class, in my opinion, because there's a lot of things that benefit multiple people from the cooking skill. So smell of food is just increasing the damage dealt. Going by 4% increments, it goes 4, 8, 12, 16, and 20%, which is, you know, that's a lot of additional damage because it is a percent, it's a plus percentage, you know, so it's you're dealing a lot more damage that way. So percentage is always great versus just like a flat rate of damage. So now we're gonna go into Master Chef. Now this one is phenomenal in my opinion. Master Chef, starting at going in 5% increments, it goes 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25%. Has a chance to turn cooked food that you take out of the cooking pot into a rare like meal. And so like this here is a rare meal. Typically the mushy pepper wrap is not classified as rare, but with that perk, when I took these out of the cooking pot, I got the rare version of it, which it gives you additional buffs as well as it gives you longer and better buffs, more food, things like that. So this is a phenomenal perk. You should almost always have this one, especially like if you were the main cook in your game, if you're playing solo, whatever, you should absolutely have this, guaranteed every time. So the last one is sharing is caring. Now this one is really neat, but it doesn't, to me, it doesn't sound as great as I think it would be. So it goes in 0.1 increments, so 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, and 0.5 health every second to all nearby allies. So this is great, you know, but it's like if you have 1,000 health overall, and that's your max one, you're only gaining, I say only, but you're only getting 5 health per second. And I mean, that's a lot of health, and for it to be towards every ally, you know, I mean, that's still pretty great, especially just as like a passive healing thing. That's pretty awesome. So I think it's great. It's definitely one that I highly recommend using. So now that we've covered all of that, I want to talk about builds. I'm going to put them up on the screen here. I have 3 builds that I kind of recommend going with this one. So if you're playing solo, the build that I would go with is obviously utilizing every nutrient, not so picky, healthy diet, long-lasting food, and Master Chef. Now, if you are playing with more people, you can go with my support class, which is going to be, of course, utilizing every nutrient. Going with the not so picky, healthy diet, the smell of food, and sharing is caring. This will make you a really big support person because you are giving your allies more damage, as well as you are also passively healing them. The downside is that you're not getting, you know, the rare foods and things like that, but you yourself will get the well-fed buffs, but, you know, you're also the main cook, so you can give yourself quite a bit of things just as the cook. Then there's the balanced build that I would recommend going with. Now this will give you, this is great if you are playing with people or playing by yourself. This one just is kind of like an overall build, is the utilizing every nutrient, the healthy diet, long-lasting food, the smell of food, and Master Chef, which is the one that we have here. And that is probably the one that I would recommend the most, but I would say that, you know, those 3 combinations would be the best in my opinion. So, but you know, it's really up to you on what you want to use. I'm not going to judge you for whatever you want to do. So, well, that is everything that you guys need to know about cooking that involves all of that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe, as well as comment down below letting me know if there's anything I can do better or if there's something specific you would like to see on my channel. Thank you guys so much. Stay happy. Peace.